Hello, friends, and welcome into New York Giants Now. I am your host, Tom Downey, here to look at some potential round one edge rusher targets for New York. Now, in terms of depth and bodies at the edge rusher spot, the Giants are fine. Lorenzo Carter, O'Shane Ximenez, Ryan Anderson, Trent Harris, Ifedi Odenigbo, if I got that wrong, my apologies, Cam Brown, Carter Coughlin. They got options at the edge rusher spot. But how many of those guys are like legitimate number one, you think they can be double-digit sack guys? You're hoping for a breakout year out of Ximenez or a Carter, but I don't think the Giants have that guy at the edge rusher spot. And picking at number 11 overall, there is a very real chance the Giants can have their pick of any of the edge rushers this year. Four guys I want to mention: Jaelan Phillips and Gregory Russo, both out of Miami. Very different arcs right now in terms of their draft stock. Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia, and then Kwity Paye out of Michigan. The top four guys, potentially, of course, for the Giants. Let's begin with the guy I have as my number one edge rusher, Jaelan Phillips. If it were not for medical concerns, a concussion history at UCLA that actually resulted in him not being cleared to play football and then transferring to Miami after sitting out an entire year, plus some accusations that he cares about music more, which I'm not concerned about, but you know how it works in the NFL, right? Talent-wise, there's a no-doubter. He's fantastic. Former number one overall recruit, highly productive at Miami. A lot of it comes down to the medical stuff for Jaelan Phillips. If he were fully healthy, I love him at number 11 for the Giants. I don't know how they're going to feel about him, though, because of that. Now, in a 3-4 scheme, I think Azeez Ojulari is a fantastic fit. Coming off a great year for Georgia. Didn't love the way he was used at all times. Georgia rotated people a lot, and they dropped Ojulari into coverage more than I would like. He could have put up better numbers if he simply played more for Georgia. But as a 3-4, pure 3-4 outside linebacker, I think Ojulari is the best one in this year's draft class. It's a matter of, is he worth the number 11 overall pick? Now, I've seen plenty of mock drafts out there with Quity Pay going to the New York Giants, and I don't mind that one. And he's a bigger guy, and it does kind of sort of help Dave Gettleman's secret plan of having 11 defensive tackles on the field at once. As a 3-4-ish outside linebacker, I don't love it, but he's a good run stopper. I think that's something that the Giants do value. And I think he could stand up on the outside more and at least be a better player production-wise than he was in the Don Brown defense that I don't think maximized his talents, given how just freaky of an edge rusher he is. His 3-cone numbers are absurd. And then finally there's Gregory Russo, who pre-draft process, I should say, was pretty much viewed as a round one talent. Great production at Miami. Look how long he is. Good build. And then this draft community got to watching his film more in depth, and you go, oh, wait a minute. Those 15.5 sacks, that's deceptive. He won a lot over the interior, over offensive guards, and on a lot of effort sacks, which are great, but he didn't win that often coming around as an edge rusher and beating offensive tackles. And if he didn't do enough in the ACC, how is it going to translate to the NFL? I don't want to take him in round one. At this point, I don't think the Giants would, but he's still a household name relative to the NFL draft process, so I did want to make note of him today. So what do you guys want? Do you want an edge in round one, period? I would actually prefer not to. I think the guy you get in round one is not going to be that different than the guy you could get in round two. You could pass on Ojulari and go with like Ronnie Perkins in the second round. I have second round grades on both of them, frankly. So get your votes in. Do you want to draft an edge in round one? Y for yes or N for no?